Joining me now with more, Bernard Kerik, former New York City Police Commissioner. Bernie, good to see you tonight.
Thank you.
What do you think?
I think it's bad. It's more than bad. For me, what's concerning is that they had all these warning signs. There have been kids interviewed already that talked about he had issues. Everybody seemed to know he had issues, including the school where he was expelled from. He has all this online chatter and these postings of guns and weapons and knives in these chat rooms. And this is, I agree with the prior speaker. This is something Congress has to look at. When you have somebody that has mental instability and they're floating around with all these weapons, well, then it's time. The police and law enforcement authorities have to have the right to go in and at least take the weapons, at least interview them, some sort of intervention. If you had this going on in New York City and they were licensed to carry or licensed to possess, and they had all this chatter and all this stuff online, I can promise you the New York City Police Department would be there, within an hour or two, taking their guns.
You think about the fact if a police officer walks by your house and they see something inside your house happening, right? They can get a warrant. They can come in. Right. So we need to get to a place where there's the same sort of situation in terms of what you're doing online that people in the public are able to see. So, right. At some point, it's like your open door. Your house is open and you're seeing what's going on inside. We have to have a way. If you see something, you say something, has to get you somewhere.
But you know what, Martha? This has a lot to do with training and training the kids at school. I have two daughters. They're in high school, a senior and a sophomore. If they're sitting around at home talking about some kid that's acting like a maniac at school and posting these photos and all this nonsense, talking all this nonsense online, as a parent, not the kid's parent, as somebody else's parent, I'm going to call the school. I'm going to call the authorities and say, look, this is something that should be looked at. A lot of parents are afraid to do that. A lot of kids are afraid to do that. I think this has to be... These are programs that the schools have to get involved in to teach the kids how important this is. Because in every one of these circumstances, every one of these school shootings, we always hear after the fact.
Knew. Yeah, I mean, within hours today, people, yeah, I know who this guy is.
Exactly.
He was trouble.
Exactly.
So, in terms of... So schools, it feels like what you're saying is we've done sort of part of the work. We've hardened the schools to some extent, right? You do have to buzz. I remember when I was, when my kids were little, you could walk right in the front door. Now right. You've got a buzzer. They have to see you on the camera. Then they let you in. So those kind of things have happened. Some schools have armed guards. Some schools are very against that. Should all schools have armed guards?
Personally, I think they should. We're doing active shooter programs. We're doing... mock drills and tabletop exercises and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like Tony Schaefer said earlier. You're not going to prevent every incident. You're just not. You can be right 99% of the time. But that one time, they could slip through the cracks. And in this case, this guy knew where he was going. He knew what he was doing. And he knew the school. And I think they're going to find out his primary target was somebody on the third floor. Why would he go to the third floor? You know what I mean? There were freshmen up there. I personally think, just listening to what I've heard, he's looking for a teacher maybe. And in the process, he did what he did.
It sounds like he shot his way into the building because they said the two people that he killed outside, he killed first.
Right, on the way in.
They he didn't want anybody to tip anyone off, so he shot them and then went up through the hallway. And, perhaps you're right. He's looking for some teacher who wronged him or something along those lines. In terms of his weapons, he had an AR-15. It raises the question, these are rifles that used to be illegal. Now they're not. Should that change?
No, that's up to Congress. And I believe me, there'll be plenty of people debating that over the next few days, next week, 2 weeks. I think at the end of the day, one, we want to find out if it was legally purchased. If he legally purchased, if somebody else bought it for him, we've seen a lot of that lately. The gun that was purchased for one of the guns that killed one of the cops was purchased by somebody else lately. So this is stuff to look at. But I think for right now, schools around the country have to learn from this lesson, and they've got to create a flagging mechanisms of some sort to look at these kids. You expel a kid from school for these types of threats and activity, well, then somebody's got to be looking at them.
Bernie Kerik, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you tonight.